All right, well, Goldman bankers versus all those supply-siders, establishment Republicans versus the renegades who want deep tax cuts. Where and how is this going to end up? To Trump economic advisor Steve Moore and our Charlie Gasparino. Steve, there seems to be a difference between guys like you, who are, I guess, in kind of in the Larry Kudlow potential Council of Economic Advisors chairman front, like big tax cuts, and then the others, maybe some of these Goldman Sachs guys who seem to be hinting not so big, right?
Well, I think you overestimate a little bit of the differences, and obviously everybody's going to have a different opinion about how big the tax cut should be, and
I think the bigger the better. And I think these Goldman guys are going to try to kill you. They're going to try to kill you.
Well, we will see. Look, I don't think we're going to have any problem with Steven Mnuchin. I mean, Mnuchin was principally responsible for the tax cut that is on the table right now. Look,
he's the same guy who said that the tax cut for the wealthy will be kind of revenue neutral. So
let me defend him on that.
That disappointed Gasparino.
No, well, let me argue with you guys on that one. If I had been asked that question, I would have said the same thing, because what we're doing here is we're basically saying we're going to lower your tax rates if you're a millionaire like you, Neil,
like
and Gasparino.
Yeah.
You guys are going to pay a lower tax rate, but guess what? We're going to take away your deductions and loopholes and credits.
So that you end up paying the same.
That is, let me just say this, Neil, that's exactly what Ronald Reagan did. That was the bargain in 1986.
They
lower rates for broad-based.
They paid much less in taxes.
Why are you guys opposed to that?
No,
I don't
because
understand
they paid much less in taxes then, and you know that. You're one of the smartest guys I know. So
I want rich people to pay more taxes. I want them at lower rates. I want to broaden the base.
I understand that, but Gaspar, I think this is and I love Steve to death. He's one of the best minds I know. I think that there is a crossroads here, and I'm not sure each side is talking to the other.
Listen, I agree with you, and here's what I would say. I love Steve, too, and I actually think...
I love him more.
I think,
it's Christmas. We all love each other.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I happen to think Steve Mnuchin is a decent choice for Treasury Secretary. He's definitely a trade-up from Jack Lew, and but here's
Jack
what I would
Lew
say.
never did movies.
Yeah, that's true, too. But think about it this way. Think about draining the swamp. Draining the swamp right now, and these are all people who I personally like and think are really smart, but let's just put it in context. You have... Gary Cohn, the former #2 of Goldman Sachs, who, by the way, is a progressive, no doubt. We have Steve Mnuchin, another hedge fund Goldman Sachs guy who, you know, I would say he's politically neutral in many ways. He's not a supply-sider by any stretch of the imagination. And a few other guys in that in an economic role in that administration who are not supply-siders, did not create or help inspire the economic plan that Donald Trump put out. And think about the guys that helped inspire that plan, which was lower taxes, dramatically lower taxes, plugging loopholes, and yes, less regulation. Larry Kudlow is still not in as the head of the Council of Economic Advisors, and there's some questions of whether he will be put in. Steve Moore is still not in the administration, unfortunately, and I think that's a big problem. Where's Arthur Laffer in this whole thing? And I would say this, that at the very least, if you're going to have balance, where are the supply-siders? They're nowhere to be found. Where are the Goldman Sachs guys? They're all over the place. Anywhere from Gary Cohn to Mnuchin to, you know, they're all there.
Look, this is why I've been so heavily pushing Larry Kudlow for, and I know, Charlie, you've been making this point too. I think it's a valid point. I think Donald Trump needs Larry Kudlow, supply-sider, pro-growth guy at the table.
What if he doesn't pick it? Then guys like you are shut out.
I hope it. No, not shut out. It's just, you know, look.
You're shut out.
You're shut out.
You're shut out, dude.
But here's the point. I think, you know, it'd be very wise for Donald Trump to take Larry, because I think he needs his voice at the table for the very reasons
But if he doesn't, are you disappointed in Donald Trump, and do you wish Hillary Clinton were elected?
Not at all. I want to say this. If you look at the cabinet...
That's a bridge too far, dude.
You guys are backing me in the corner here. Right. If you look at this cabinet, Charlie, if you look at the people you know, at Department of Transportation, Elaine Chao, if you look at the people at, you know, Andy Puzner, who's oftentimes on Neil's show, great free market conservative, on down the line, you look at the people who can put in EPA and these regulatory agencies, it is a very free market supply side.
We need bold thinkers. We need, I understand deficits and debt, but I also understand that growing the economy can deal with a lot of that and help get this thing going. And
I've
you're
taught you
about
well,
it.
Neil. I've taught you well.
You know,
exactly
but let me
right.
tell you something. Let me tell you something, Steve. This is the most disheartening thing about Donald Trump. He put in an avowed progressive as head of the National Economic Council. Now, are you going to argue with me that Gary Cohn supported President Obama up and down the line? He broke from President Obama only because Goldman Sachs got screwed by Dodd-Frank on something known as the Volcker Rule.
Bottom line,
he's a progressive.
Steve should get in there. Maybe Kudlow will get in there. Maybe things will change.
Yeah.
But Steve, you carry
I'm not leaving Fox. I am not leaving Fox.
No.
It's that simple.
Oh, man, this worries me.
I love you guys too much.
I'm happy for Fox, and I'm worried about America. All right, guys, I want to thank you both.
Merry Christmas,
Merry Christmas. It'll probably be the last one where you'll have a tax chance at all here.